We're going to be talking about setting mental health goals, and we're going to start with introducing ourselves. My name is Mariya. I am a mental health and wellness peer educator, and I am a senior majoring in psychology.
And my name is Prithvi. I'm a mental health and wellness peer educator. I'm a grad student majoring in data science.
Okay, so we're going to start by answering this question. So what is one mental health goal or habit you would like to work on? Prithvi, do you want to start?
Yes, maybe I think I should practice more mindfulness. Mindfulness in eating or mindfulness in whatever I do, any task or activities, be in terms of work or studies, or maybe using social media for that matter. That really helps me keep accountable to myself, and it's really important factor is what I feel. What do you think? What's your mental health goal or habit that you would like to work on?
I would like to work on my sleeping schedule because it's an absolutely disaster right now. I just want to make sure that I sleep at least like 7-8 hours per night. And I know it's very sleep is very important for mental well-being, for mood and cognitive functioning. And yeah, I would like to work on that.
Yeah, that's totally true. I completely agree. I think you're giving me pointers to add in my goal as well, because usually sleeping is the one thing that people don't really put in efforts to, or maybe be mindful about. So I think I'll take this pointer and then add it in my goal as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's go with examples of mental health goals. So we've already noticed that people make resolutions to improve their physical health or finances. Why don't we create some goals that focus on our mental health, right? So we should always remember that being the healthiest version of you means taking care of your body and mind, so which will definitely promote mental wellness and happiness. So you may let's go through some of the examples. So being mindful in terms of any activities, or maybe be it sleeping or eating or any task that you do, it will actually help you set accountable to yourself, and then kind of know what you're exactly doing, and setting that is very important to take care of. Then taking care of your entire body and mind. So how you treat your body has a tremendous effect on your mental health, right? So making sure you're taking care of it is really an important factor, be it like eating nutritious meals or drinking a lot of water, or try and get enough sleep, or maybe adding exercise into our daily routine becomes a major task these days. I understand, but then it's very, very important to take care as well. Then do not ignore your thoughts and feelings, because spreading that something isn't happening won't make it go away, definitely, right? So if you are feeling sad or anxious or angry or depressed, or maybe try to get it's important to get to know the cause of your feelings rather than just ignoring them. So it's important to ask yourself, what's making me upset, or maybe if you can do something well, or is there someone who can help? Or even if you have no control over your situation, that's totally fine. You have control over how you deal with it, right? So bottling up your emotions will just make everything worse. And it's important to even say both yes and no sometimes, right? So allowing yourself to step out of your comfort zone means start saying yes more often to things that really interest you and that you really want to try and discover a whole new side of yourself. Saying yes more is not about agreeing to things you don't want to do, right? So, but it means about not letting fear stop you from trying things you have always wanted to do. On the other side, knowing when to say is just as important as saying yes. So if you are accustomed to saying yes all the time, you know how quickly things can get spiral right out of your control. So saying yes when you want to say no can be really, really exhausting. So out of fear or letting others down, you end up overextending yourself, which can lead to stress, anxiety, or depression. So it's important to remember that it's okay to say no to things that you really can't or don't want to do. And one of the things is setting boundaries and how to use them. So boundaries are definitely crucial to your mental health and well-being, but establishing them and following them is not always easy to do, especially if you have difficulty saying no to others. So setting boundaries really helps you to set the tone of how you treat for yourself and also how you allow people to treat you. It helps to be very assertive and confidently state what you need. You sometimes you will be in some situations that force you to experience resentment or anger, but boundaries really promote peace and safety. And it's very, very important to practice forgiveness. So, we usually tend to vent out our frustration ourselves, right? So, forgiveness means just acceptance. Accept how you are, or accept how you think, or accept just the feelings or emotions that come across, that you come across. So, that'll really create acceptance towards you, and then at least being mindful. Then ask for help, or maybe commit to therapy if you need it. So therapy is not just for people who live with mental illness, or psychiatrists or therapists is just a non-biased person like a friend or family who's actually invested emotionally in you, right? So this does not mean you should not take help from therapists or psychiatrists, but it's very important to go and seek help when you really need it. And that really provides you with a confidential and safe place to walk through your past. And then let's surround ourselves with those who support us, and then remember that mental health is always important as your physical health. Mm, Next slide. How to set mental health goals. So first thing is, it's very important to identify your why. So before beginning to follow through your goals, consider the why or the real reason behind them. We should always avoid making goals based on what someone else is telling us, or maybe what society is telling us, right? So instead, it's important to like set your goals that is very personal to you, or maybe what works for you might not definitely work for others, or that's vice versa. So always consider your why, and maybe give more importance to that. And also make smarter goals. That means specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So if you consider that, being specific means framing your goal in detailed terms, that you know exactly what you want to do and accomplish and why. And then setting measurable goals means making sure that your goal is the goals checklist is ready, so you'll be able to like tell when it's been completed. And setting achievable goals means it's obvious that a goal should be achievable, but sometimes we set ourselves a task without even fully considering what it really entails. So a good goal is one you can realistically accomplish. So it's really, really important to like set something which is realistic or achievable, and also relevant, right? So we all seek motivation, and it's a key important factor in whether or not you're able to reach your goal. So making sure that the goal that you set matters to you, and know that it's the right time to tackle it. And then it should be time bound. So without a deadline, things that you hope to do or can make more like dreams and goals. So setting a date for when you want to finish or accomplish your goals is also important. So depending on the length of your goal, you may also want to set dates to achieve milestones on your way, or maybe to reach your goals. So after you've set your smart goals, so it's important to break it down to manageable steps. So your brain gives you a boost of how good dopamine every time you accomplish something that you set it for yourself. So breaking down your goal can really help you to stay motivated as you check off tasks and working towards it, right? So it can be really helpful to find a friend or mentor who you can keep you accountable and provide some support and encouragement. By setting something like this and breaking into manageable chunks and establishing a support net, you can definitely set and achieve goals that will really help you grow as a person without even harming your mental or emotional health. Um, then setting setting a range of short-term and long-term goals. Sometimes we tend to set some goals without even deadlines. So we won't know how long it takes some time to finish that goal, right? So it's very important, like break that goal into small chunks and then celebrate each time that you tick off or maybe accomplish that. And it's very important to even acknowledge that it will take time. So not everything can be done easier, and nothing is easy. So you can just you cannot expect something in a day or two. Maybe it's so important to like give specific time frame and then some time, and be patient in the path or the way as you go. Next slide.
Okay. Next, we're going to talk about 7 steps to help you reach your mental health goals. And the first one is being active. Research shows that being physically active helps to improve overall mental well-being. So, for example, you can walk once or twice per day for 15-20 minutes, and it will count as being active and will help you to achieve your mental health goals. The next one is starting small. So you can start by challenging one behavior at a time, or focus on changing one habit. This one-step method will help you to feel less overwhelmed. The next one is not ignoring your emotions. So it is very important to, like, when you're aware that you have some problem or issue that you want to work on, it's important to not ignore that problem and instead try to address the problem at its source. And remember that very often most of the time you are in control of the situation, and you can improve your situation or change your situation. The next one is overcoming mental obstacles. So no matter what your mental health goals are this year, chances are that you may stumble, and it's okay to make mistakes, and just remember to view it more as a learning experience, not a failure. Next one is taking time to celebrate. Make sure you celebrate little wins and little achievements, and it will give you motivation to continue working on your goals. Number 6 is learning a hobby. Achieving mental health goals may be stressful, so finding a new hobby that improves your mental well-being and happiness can help you learn new skills and improve your mental health. And the last one is getting help when you need it. So as Prithvi already said, it's very important to reach out for help when you know that you need it and when you feel that you need it. One of the main reasons why people don't reach out for help is stigma, and people might feel embarrassed that they need professional help. But actually, asking for help just shows that you are aware of something that is bothering you and that you are willing to deal with it. And it just shows that you're brave and strong, and you take responsibility for your mental health. And it's amazing to know when you need help and to actually ask for help. Next, if you feel kind of lost in this mental health journey, if it's something that is new for you right now, you can start by trying a mental health challenge. You can find different ideas like 30-day mental health challenge, and every day you have to do like a small activity that is like related to mental health and mental well-being. And it's an amazing thing because every day you try a new thing, and it helps you to figure out what works for you and what doesn't. And after 30 days, you will be more aware of what helps you to deal with different problems and what helps you to get relaxed and stuff like that. Also, on the right side of the screen, you see a wellness planner. So, for example, you can have like one mental health goal for a month and work on that goal every month. You will have like a new goal. So that's about this mental health challenges. Next, we're going to talk about resources.
Yeah, and it's very important to like have a planner like Mariya explained in the previous slide, right? So I think I'm definitely going to adapt one of that. So there's a worksheet that anybody can use it. I have linked it here. It'll actually help you keep accountable to yourself, and then like obviously when it's physically present in front of your eyes, so you actually tend to remember that, and then it kind of reminds you to work on it, right? So rather than like keeping it in the phone or maybe laptop or tab. So we can definitely use this worksheet. And there are a few articles of blogs that if all of us can go through it. They have like amazing tips and tricks that helps in achieving our mental health goal. Next slide. There are some of the universities resources that all of us can use it. And then if you want to know anything about university events and activities, then you should definitely go to Victor's link, the University of Michigan-Dearborn website. So there we have the list of events and activities linked. And if you have any questions about mental health and therapy resources, please feel free to email UM-Dearborn CAPS at UMich Education. And also we have CAP services. They're all licensed mental health and wellness professionals, and then we are peer educators, and we have different set of activities every Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we have Art with Caps event every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. That's on Zoom. And feel free to reach out to us anytime whenever you need support, and everything is safe and everything is taken care of.
Yeah. And some issues with the screen sharing right now. Okay. So that's all we were planning to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and make sure you reach out for help, and if you feel like you need it, and make sure you work on your mental health.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for joining us, and make sure you use mental health and wellness planner, and have weekly goals and monthly goals, and then definitely it's going to work out some or the other day. And thanks for joining us today. Have a wonderful rest of the day.